Yay, welcome back to EzDRAWZ with me, Ez. Yeah. Okay. I hate it when people do that yay thing, and now I'm freaking doing it. Okay, so, still working on the, little character. Her name's Abby. Just having a ton of fun as pretending to be a rock star. So let's work our way down to her little outfit. Like I said, this is inspired by a specific outfit. I'm just gonna have a bit more fun with it and make it a bit more girly. And just get some shapes in there. If you ever have any trouble drawing sort of round shapes and clothing folds, you're pretty safe just drawing them in like this and just getting a feel for them. Though yeah, drawing clothing folds is a bit of a thing. It's a beast unto its own. Though I will try to explain it as best I can. That's the point of these videos. Okay. At this point I'm sort of noticing that it's fairly static. I'm not too happy with this right now. So, especially her expression, it's pretty friggin' vapid. It just looks like she's like, rock and roll, duh. You know, it's supposed to evoke some kind of passion in her. She's 16 years old. I mean, anybody who's either now 16 or used to be 16, I mean, come on. When you heard a song you loved, it just made your soul come alive, and I'm just not seeing that on her face right now. So I'm gonna go in again. Very static face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her a lower angle to her face. Drawing a lower angled face really has to do with where you place the inside corner of the bridge of the nose, and where you're gonna place the protrusion of the cheek. It's basically gonna either move up or down. If I have to show you guys over here, over there you have the nose going in there and the cheek. If it's going to be a lower angle, then this little indentation is gonna happen a little higher, and the cheek's gonna come out a little higher. If you make a character look up, then the bridge is gonna happen lower, as well as the cheek. And those are just I hope this illustrates it okay. But those are just like little itty bitty little tips. If ever you're struggling, if you have like a Barbie doll, or I'm assuming that a good couple of you guys have your Anna and Elsa dolls that you bought because Frozen is just use those dolls and just turn them around in your hands. Just have a good time just learning about how the head turns, especially a cartoon head. That's very useful to check out a cartoon head. Actually noticing that my nails are a bit been spending the day with the dogs. Sweet little tunes. Okay. So since I want to have a higher no, I don't. I want a lower angle. God, gosh, you guys, seriously. I'm gonna make her nose bridge come out a little sooner than it would have, and have a cheek a little higher, and it's immediately going to look lower. Yeah, it's gonna make sense. I'm just gonna adjust this. Sorry, now I got quiet. This takes a bit of a concentration. And her mouth's open, so her cheek isn't going to protrude that much, and I need to sort of match up with the bottom there. Okay, there you go. Gonna do a sort of a laughing eye. I'm always talking about that. I tend to. And I sort of want her to look at the audience. A cool tip, if you want a character to look at the audience, this is something I found in my own experience. There are probably people who have better tips than this, but bear with me. You draw the eye in its entirety. Like this is probably gonna be what her eye shape's gonna be. And I am drawing at an angle. Then what you do is you cover the one eye, and you draw the eye so that just this one eye looks at you, until you can center it in a way that it's looking at your audience. Then you cover that eye and draw just this eye so it's looking at the audience. And then generally, I mean that's just quick, but it's gonna, oh, that looks awful. Scratch that. No, don't scratch that. This is just a, you know, first draft or whatever. That's just a fun tip, because it's really difficult to get a character to look at your audience. It's one of the things I know I find most difficult. I just usually say, screw it, and then I make the character look in the opposite direction, like, look off to the side. That tends to be, nice enough. People tend to be okay with that. Don't do it. And then I'm gonna have a mouth a bit more open. People always say, oh, you know, how do I draw an open mouth? Oh, this is how. Usually what I do is I say there's the nose, then I draw the teeth first, and then I position the mouth around the teeth. And immediately, just draw the bottom teeth there, you've got a mouth that's open. Or like, you draw the nose, and you know, you draw the teeth. You just position it around it. Okay, that looks terrible. Just gotta do that. Everyone makes mistakes. I mean, Andrew Loomis said that, you know, the mouth is nothing more than an eyelid. So if you treat it like an eyelid, you're gonna turn out okay. It's gonna be fine. Gonna add some extra stray hairs to her eyebrows, because she's, you know, fully 80s. Red. Okay, no, okay. My 80s lingo isn't that good. Still researching this. I'm not ready to the max, you know. I'm not there yet. Also, just as a point to the character, this is a character with a nice big bright smile, so she's always showing both rows of teeth when she's smiling. You don't need to do that. There are tons of characters or people, you know, it really depends on the people, which teeth show and where. Okay, I'm at the point where I'm happy with the face. It can do with a few tweaks, but I'm happy enough with it to feel confident enough to keep on refining downward. And that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. For anybody watching this and thinking, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try listening to some hair metal bands. This looks kinda cool. Which is probably like 50% of you guys. I can't say I can recommend it. If you like cheesiness, you can try to look at it, but on the whole, you know, there was a huge insurgence of hair metal bands in the late 80s and early 90s. I'm talking like exclusively, let's say 88, 89, 90 and 91, around there. There was this huge insurgence because goodness, you get the feeling that all of these bands were like tweens or teens when, you know, Van Halen and Def Leppard and all those bands were really, really big, and they're like, yeah, cool, we can do that. Ugh. And the results vary. You know, like, I am doing research for the story, so I had to check out some of those bands, and some of them are just like, oh my gosh, what is this? Because basically hair metal bands, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are a few of you, you know, musos, you know, who really like music and know a lot about this stuff. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my own observation, if you've heard, you know, 2 or 3 bands, let's say if you've heard Bon Jovi, 80s Bon Jovi, they all change with the times, Van Halen, oh, sorry. Yeah, if you've heard Bon Jovi, Van Halen, and Def Leppard, every hair band after that, oh, maybe not every, but every cheapo copycat hairband after that, it's just a different permutation of that, or, you know, a combination of those 3. It's really nothing new. If you're into that, you're gonna like the fact that there's more of it. But, some of it's really crappy. I mean, I'd love to defend these guys, but I just cannot do that with clear conscience. It's just... goodness. I like Danger Danger. Hey, look at my makeshift weight. I should have a ruler. I should have one. And yet I do not. Oh well, I'm just gonna use a ruler. Or not a pencil. Like I said, I like Danger Danger. They are just another sort of clone-y kind of band, but they've got got their own little spin to it, their own little like energy to it. They're actually one of my favorite bands right now. Just because they have this youthful energy, and I appreciate that. But there are some bands that just sound awful. Like, ugh, I don't really want to talk about this. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I had to watch some Winger videos. Now, probably quite a few of you guys are like already nodding along. Oh, Winger. Because I heard that Winger as a band, it's kind of one of those bands you don't listen to. It's kind of like listening to Michael Bolton or Celine Dion. If you listen to them, you don't tell anybody you're listening to them. You're just like, oh yeah, they suck. Ugh. So I thought, you know, let's give them a shot. Shame, you know, benefit of the doubt. Yeah, no, people were right. Every single one of their music videos is just a visual depiction of douchebag. Like the guy, the lead singer's name's Kip Winger, I think. He just, in this one video, he wears a sausage jacket, and it's just like, and he's hairy, and, you know, all like, it's sort of throwing me off here, because, it's like the, you know, the visual definition of sweat. Kind of like Michael Cera is the visual definition of the word moist. It's just, you know, versus Danger Danger, which is like Diet, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. Not that, you know, Van Halen's too good, you know, in that department either. Okay, I'm just doing her little outfit. I'm gonna have her have like a low-hanging, like a little bit too big for her t-shirt, but also not. And then of course the ripped jeans, because I can. I don't think ripped jeans were in at this time. 1987, like I said. Decided to put it in 1987 because that's the year my brother was born. And all my favorite albums came out in 1986, so. The universe has spoken. But yeah, not that Van Halen did too good in that department either. If you guys have any time or have ever seen it, it's their Jump video. The lead singer is something Roth something? Oh my goodness. Every time I watch that, all I can think is like, hello ladies, time for puberty. And it's, no, it's just not good. Every time I talk about this stuff, I'm hitting the camera because I'm just freaking face palming. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a nice, huge, nice fringe because of all of these shapes and lovely things. And, just since anybody's wondering, this is wrong. I'm gonna fix these folds. I'm sort of just doodling and chatting right now. I'm gonna have her here. She's got a little, earring in there. It's just a design thing that the character has. And, now I'm gonna move the parts, the hair part. Sometimes I would draw the hair part as well, just to make sure I've got it over there. Just gonna make it a bit more to the side so I've got even more mass over here. Just, again, like I said, the 80s are just a joy to illustrate because of all of these big shapes and masses, and sometimes it's nice and sharp like the shoulder pads, or sometimes it's nice and round. It's just, it's a joy to draw. I enjoy it. Okay. It's as far as I'm gonna go with this. Let me talk you guys through the sleeve over here. I think a few of you are probably wondering about this sleeve that I've mucked up. Okay, basically, if you are, you know, gearing up to draw clothing folds, do the basic mass first. My mass is gonna go big and then go in small. And then just draw a few lines and some shapes and things just to get a feel for it. And remember to go with the roundness of the arm. I know that her arm's gonna have a little fold right there, so I'm just gonna work that in there as well. And then just sort of kind of start to draw around it. In a sculptural way, maybe. That's sort of what I'm doing. That's still wrong, I still shouldn't have that line over there. And, you know, so if there's ever like a part over there, it's probably gonna, you know, where the arm folds, it's probably gonna go up like that. And I'm gonna just erase that, sort of just replicate the results. Because you want to keep it simple in this kind of drawing. You don't want people to like look at it and say, oh my gosh, you know, wow, your clothing folds are so good. you want them to look at the face and at the general shapes. Okay, I'm messing this up real bad. Don't tell Disney. Nah, you can tell Disney. Go. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. I might, I'll look up some reference a little later and just make sure I get that right. And any kind of pictures I upload, any kind of pictures I look at, I'll make sure to upload it to you guys so you guys can check it out. But, okay, I think I'm gonna stop here for now. Next time I'm really just gonna work on the hair and this hand and just trying to get a nice little umbrella lookiness thing. Finish this up. She's very close to being done, actually. Up to a point where I can just check out reference. So, see you guys next time, I guess.